Hey, hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Great.
Hi, Tim. Hi, Joe. How are you guys doing?
Are they muted
Just,
maybe?
you just texted you, Marissa. I was going to tell you I was going to sign on now, but
Yeah,
see you now. So, okay, awesome. So, how's everybody doing?
good,
Good.
very good. It's beautiful out.
I went fishing.
Oh yeah, I saw. Where'd you
Yeah, I just
go?
went out, just went out on the shore, and it was very cold. The water's cold though.
Yeah,
My legs were cold. So
it was beautiful out though.
it was awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
What were you fishing for?
Well, porgies probably
Oh, good.
about now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
my friend got some the other day. So I was hopeful, but I was only out for like an hour. Then I had other parent obligations. It was cut
Very
short.
Very good.
Yeah. So we have, I'm going to wait definitely a few more minutes because I have more people. Hello. Good
Hi.
evening. We definitely have, I know we have 10 people registered, excluding anyone else that just got the notice and might be signing on anyway at the last minute.
No,
So
actually, I'll be right back. Hold on.
sure. So I'm assuming you guys all got the ingredients list, right, that I emailed you? Sure.
Yes.
I can't hear you. You can, if you want to unmute yourself, then you can talk and I can hear you.
I said, I love your charm.
Oh, thank you. As you can see, it's Shelter Island.
Nobody knows what that is unless
No one ever knows.
Mm. I let them guess and it's like a Rorschach test.
Yes.
I have one. I love it. I have one. And I put a tiny little gold diamond chip where my house is in Silver Beach.
Oh, I may have met with you before where I think you showed me that.
Oh, did I? I don't know. I try to show it to everyone I
Yes,
know.
because I think I definitely remember that. And I don't know if we had a conversation somewhere, but I remember somebody showing, it was a woman showing me the necklace with the little thing where the house was. So I should put where my house is too.
And I know where your house is because it's near my house, but
Yeah.
that was my very first Christmas gift on Shelter Island from my husband. So it was really,
Very
really
nice.
sweet. I went into Cornucopia. And
that's where I got mine.
she had the little silver ones there, and she had gold ones and big ones and little ones. And I came home. It was our first Christmas here, and I said we were going to be all alone. I said to Steve, "If you don't know what to get me for Christmas, there's something out there." So I told her that. I told him about that, and he got me a gold one.
Nice.
And we went out to Gurney's for dinner. We had cocktails under the lighthouse.
Oh.
And then he put this little box on my plate at dinner, and there it was. So, and
you knew it couldn't be a ring again, right?
What?
I said, well, I'm certain you knew it couldn't be a ring again. They put the little box. You wonder,
No.
unless he wants to go around another.
I couldn't believe he would do it. Not like him, but it was a fun night. And I love that piece.
That's great. Yeah, I've gotten this for a number of good friends who don't live in Shelter Island but have visited here, and it's a nice way to give that to them. Although Mary Lou told me a couple years ago that the caster that they were using passed away, or I think passed away.
I was going to ask if they were still available because I know someone else here who would love to have one too, and I haven't gotten to pursue it. But
yeah, so I don't know what she's doing now. If they found a new person to take over and do it, I'm uncertain. But I think this was like a couple of years ago because I was looking for more and she was out of them. She was out of the silver.
Yeah. Well, anyone I have ever seen that went to look at it, they think it's a bucking bronco. And I said, "Oh, you're right." No.
I actually, the first time I ever saw it, I didn't recognize it as an island.
No, it doesn't look like it. We have such an unusual outline to this island.
Yeah.
It's so unique.
Yeah, it is.
But it does look like a bucking bronco.
It makes a beautiful necklace.
I know. I love it. Okay.
So everyone, I'm just to let you know the call is going to be recorded. So if you don't have to feel pressured to like be looking up and writing everything down, because you have the ingredients list, and then I'm gonna make the recording. Have you guys been on you've been on the call, the other one, the first one, right?
I
Okay,
saw.
okay, so I will send out the link, and then you can just watch it at your leisure if you need to
Okay.
look up
Very good.
something.
Very
Yeah, so I'm gonna get started because there's more people coming, but I figure they can hop on, and I know Marissa's time is valuable, and I don't want to take advantage of that. So I want to thank everybody for coming on the call. This is our second Deer and Tick Committee hosted venison Zoom cooking call, and this second call came about from everyone that participated in the first one, and was so happy from it. And some of the feedback I got on email and on phone and in person was that residents wanted a second one, and maybe to make this one a little bit different. And as you recall, we kind of had a vote. What would you like to discuss? And we decided, since the last one was more of a oven cooked, venison, that this would be something you could do using a slow cook method, and to make it very different. This last was a roast. This is going to be quesadillas, which is fun and easy. So I'm Julia Weisenberg. Maybe you guys know me, but if not, for those listening on the call, I am a member of the Deer and Tick Committee of Shelter Island. I live in Shelter Island year round. I grew up here. My children are in the school district. I'm also a hunter. I do recreational hunting and nuisance hunting for the town of Shelter Island, as well as our guest chef extraordinaire, Marissa Estatio. We are both, along with a third lady who's not in the call right now, but Jackie Molino, we co-founded a Long Island group called Long Island Babes and Bucks. It's an all-female hunting and angling organization that does charitable work, mentoring, empowering, and supporting women in those two hobbies or sports, right? So Marissa is one of my co-founders. I'm really grateful to her because she decided to volunteer her time again to do this, and I'm very appreciative of that. And this came about, you might be wondering, like, why are we doing this? So the Deer and Tick Committee, one of the things we did this year was we sort of wanted to expand our reach to the public and sort of make a better, friendly connection with all of you, so that people really know who we are and we're approachable. We actually hold about 6 or 7 meetings per year. They're always up on the town website. Anyone can attend our meetings. We're now doing them in Zoom because of COVID, but we used to actually get together in person at town hall. But you're more than welcome to jump on a call, ask our secretary, our clerk for the committee, which I believe right now is Jane Roberts, but it's on the website. You can ask for the Zoom link. You can come on. It's great if the public really kept abreast of what we're doing in terms of tick prevention and deer management. On that note, some really cool trivia, which I didn't have on the last call, Marissa, because we didn't know. Once the season was over, we got the good news that we donated 2,800 pounds of venison by the town to the recycling center. Yes. So that's a pretty robust number. I feel, as a committee member, very, very proud of that. I think the island should be too. We're also taking your suggestions from last call, and I'm working with another resident on maybe making a nice poster for the recycling center fridge that will sort of guide you on the cuts and the different labeling by our town butchers. That actually came from feedback from you guys from the call. So we're going to work on that. We're probably going to do these kinds of calls again. And the other thing is kind of good news. We're doing a tick bite prevention event at the Shelter Island School on May 10th. We've enlisted the help of 2 volunteers, Cindy Belt and Becca Kusa from Mashomic Preserve Outreach. And they were kind enough to volunteer their time. They're going to Zoom in with the kids. I bought some fun materials like stuffed ticks and tick keychains and all kinds of fun stuff. And we're going to be doing educational things with the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. So that's something entirely new, and it's part of our efforts to reach out to the public, make things more fun and creative. But ultimately, it comes down to you guys being self-responsible and just being vigilant. Know how to go out before you venture out in your yard, trails, wherever you are on Shelter Island, to protect yourself, dress yourself right, spray down, check for ticks and things like that. But we do have a very good deer management plan that's based on our flyover, which you might have seen in the Shelter Island Reporter. We are actually on track for summer 2022 to reach our goal of 50 deer per square mile. As you know, where there's more deer, there are more ticks. So anyway, let's get to the call. Marissa, I'm going to introduce her again. She is also a hunter and chef. She lives on Long Island. She's also a real estate broker. And she's going to tell you about venison quesadillas and kind of walk you through the ingredients list that I had emailed you guys. So Marissa, thank you. I'm going to turn the call over to you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining the call tonight. I'm really excited to show you guys something that's a little more versatile. You can do a lot with this dish. So I chose to demonstrate the quesadillas on this call because I find them to be extremely easy, very limited ingredients, but also the ingredients that you're using for the slow cook it's not strong in a way that you wouldn't be able to use it for other things. So this recipe that I'm giving you to slow cook with, you can do anything you want with it because it's not too spicy, it's not too sweet, it's not smoky, it's just a very neutral kind of beef taste. So you could make the quesadillas with it, you could make enchiladas with it. And again, all stuff that if you wanted to keep it simple, you can buy the other stuff in a store, like enchilada sauce. You would use the same tortillas that we're going to use today, and you basically roll the meat in it, put cheese on top, the enchilada sauce. It's all very simple stuff, but like I said, you can use this recipe to do all of that stuff. You can put it on top of mac and cheese. You can just put it in a hamburger bun and eat it as a slider. You could make tacos out of it with onions and other kinds of salsa and stuff like that. So let me just show you guys what I'm using. I don't know if we put on the ingredients list what size tortillas to use, but I use like an 8-inch. It's 8 inches. Yeah. So they're 8-inch flour. I only do flour. I don't like the way corn comes out. I mean, I have whole wheat ones, whatever kind you usually would get. So that's what you're going to use. Shredded cheese. So really it's all preference. I just happen to have a mild cheddar and like a Mexican one in my refrigerator. So that's what I'm using. So you also don't have to use a slow cooker. I used a slow cooker because it comes out better and it's way less work. But if you have a Dutch oven, you can definitely use a Dutch oven. This took about 5.5 hours on high. I used a piece that was about this size. This just happens to be a shoulder. So there happens to be, sorry, my door is open, it's loud. This happens to have bone in it. I know you guys don't have bone in the ones that are in the town refrigerator, but if anybody on the call happens to get any from a friend or somebody, you can use it with bone. So it was about that size. This is maybe a little bit bigger, but you can use the round, they call it the football roast or a round roast, any kind of roast, like a top loin, bottom loin, although I don't really use those for slow cooking, but you definitely can. Even if you have, let's say, a bag of already diced up for stew meat, if you're not a stew eater like me, I just really prefer to not eat stew. You can use it. It will just be more work to shred it up. So if any of you have ever made anything with shredded meat before, you would know you slow cook it, and then when it's almost done, you take it out and put it on a cutting board, and you use 2 forks to separate all of the meat until it's shredded, and then you put that all back into the awesome juice. Mm-hmm. So I'm already at that step. I already did that earlier. So I don't know if you guys can see it. Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like after it's all shredded up.
How many pounds was that?
So I used one that's about 4 pounds. It was a little smaller than the one I just showed you.
Okay.
Can I just ask a question, Marissa? Could you also, for someone that didn't want to, I use the fork method, but could somebody put it in like a chopper if it's strong enough to chop?
A food processor?
Yeah, once it's like soft enough?
Yeah,
wondering.
you would definitely have to separate it a little bit first.
Because otherwise it'll get too tiny, right? Yeah.
Right. Well, not even that, it just wouldn't even fit in it.
Yeah.
It's the whole ball. You would have to at least break it down into like sections first.
Okay.
And at that point, you're halfway done. So it's kind of, and you can shred it as much as you want. If you get tired, you can stop, put it back in the slow cooker, let it break down a little more on its own. But the more it is broken down, the better it's going to be in the quesadilla, because every bite you take, you're not going to get like long, big pieces. It'll be like more like a bite size. So I literally you throw all of the ingredients together minus the butter and let it slow cook. Then when you come home and it's all shredded and fabulous, all you have to do is take the quesadillas. Now I use a non-stick pan, but I also put butter on it because I just like the way that the tortilla crisps up with butter in it. Butter makes everything better.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I get that nice and hot. And I know some people own actual quesadilla makers or a George Foreman grill. I don't have any of that stuff. I don't have anywhere to store it. I have I don't like any of those extra appliances. So I use an extra large and the regular size spatula to flip it over. I mean, the reason I need the extra large one is because I'm using 8-inch, which does work out better for a quesadilla, because by the time you cut it up, like this is what each size of the quesadilla is going to be, which is like it's a normal size quesadilla. So if you use a smaller
Spatula.
flour tortilla, it's not going to work. Like the taco size ones, it'll be too small.
Okay.
So, all right, so I'm going to put the first tortilla in. Now I let the pan get hot first, just so that it can, come to temperature. But then while I'm assembling it in the pan, I put it down on like low to medium heat. So I'm going to take my first batch of cheese and I'm just lining it so that it's pretty much even across the whole bottom. And I'm not stingy on cheese, especially in a quesadilla.
Good, good, good.
All right, so. The other thing I love about this recipe is that it has the onions already in it. So you're putting everything in here. You don't have to add anything else while you're assembling it except the cheese and the meat. And you don't want it to be too thick. So spreading it out. I'd say probably like 3/4 of a cup of meat, maybe. So that it's all covering it.
Not too thick, though.
Yeah, not too thick. Because what you're gonna do, now I'm gonna put the other layer of cheese on. And then once I put the other tortilla on, I'm gonna press it down with my spatula. So it's kind of all gonna simmer into itself.
That looks so good.
It is. I have my parents visiting from Pennsylvania and I made one for them before and they're like, oh, this is so good. Oh, this is delicious.
We're coming right over.
And my mom.
Are we coming right over now?
Yeah, come on over. My mom normally won't eat venison and she ate it. So that's always a good sign.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I just press it down so that everything melts together. We'll give it a few minutes. But yeah, another thing, I don't know if anybody has ever made beef stroganoff. I know that it's also something that can either complicate or make very, very easy. But this would also go well if you substitute, some people make it with chopped meat, some people make it with like an actual steak, but you could substitute any of the beef that you would normally put in beef stroganoff and just put this in there instead. Like I said, it's so versatile. It doesn't have a strong flavor of, like I said, spicy or smoky or anything like that. So you can use it for anything really.
I have done venison with Julia Child's recipe for beef bourguignon. Remember that?
Yes.
And the venison was perfect for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a while, and it was on top of the stove. Okay, and many hours of slow cook. So, basically the same thing you're doing, right?
Exactly. Well, that's what I was saying in the first call. If you have a piece of meat, as long as you know what it is and what it will cook like when you're comparing it to beef, you just use it in any recipe that you would pull for a beef.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I use my little spatula first to get underneath. And then the big one to flip it. This is the-
Oi, oi, oi. That's the part I hate.
yeah.
You
This
can-
spatula really
That really does work, that little trick there.
yeah. You need both of them.
I
You have to have both.
usually end up with 2 4-inch spatulas to do that, or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's a disaster.
The big spatula helps, and you definitely need a little one with it because
Yeah.
as I flipped it, I had this one on top
I saw
Right.
that, yeah.
while I was flipping it.
It's like, yeah.
But it's starting to look good.
Ooh. Ooh.
Nice. So that's why you want to have that butter, right? Because otherwise it'll just give that crispy flavor on the outside, you think?
I honestly, I just think it adds
Okay.
a little extra flavor. I mean, it's
Good.
like, when you make a grilled cheese, the more buttery than crispy the bread is, the better it tastes.
Yeah.
It's a non-stick pan, so either way, it's not gonna stick to it, but it just makes it taste better.
And so all the ingredients, they just go right in when you first start. Just
Everything minus the butter.
everything all together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's really easy then. All right.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna try this myself. Actually.
And mix it together before you put the meat in it, but that's it. That's all you have to do.
But would that also work in a cast iron pan, wouldn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, you could definitely do it in a cast iron. That you would definitely have to use butter for, though.
A lot of butter.
Yeah. I
Okay.
never thought to do that, actually, the quesadillas in a cast iron.
I don't know. I've got them here though, and I would like to use them. So I will try that.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. That's how I started doing all of my when I first was cooking venison, every good steak I had, I did in the cast iron. And then I eventually got sick of cleaning up after the cast
Yeah,
iron.
I know.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
started barbecuing it all.
Mhm.
Do any of you guys barbecue the venison on a yeah. So
Always.
I put it on tin foil first and I let it cook at a very low temperature for like 15-20 minutes, depending on how big it is. And then when it's just about done, I take it off of the foil and I sear it just to get the outside seared. And it comes out like so tender. It's so good like that.
Oh, I
So
never,
you don't burn
I
it.
used to overcook it on the barbecue all the time.
I never did that.
Wow.
So first on foil and then sear it.
Yeah, so first you cook it on very low, like as low as your barbecue will go
Yeah,
until it's almost done. And then,
that sounds great.
yeah. All right. So not only is it very easy, it doesn't take very long either, which is nice. Work all day and then you come home and assemble it, heat it, and cut
Yum.
it.
Where do you live? Where do you live? We'll be there.
I'm very right away.
We're coming over.
Yes. And that's it. And then you serve it with sour cream. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh my God, that looks so good.
It's really like, it tastes so much better than it even looks.
Can
It's
you show me again, Marissa? I just want to see
Yeah.
that. I want to see what that looks like though.
Oh,
Nice.
it's beautiful.
Oh my God, it's good. Okay, great.
Oh,
I wish I could show you guys.
I do
So
too.
I actually just defrosted some last night that's still in my freezer. Maybe I should try it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't have to well, if you put it in a Dutch oven, it would
No,
only
yeah,
take
I don't have
3
a Dutch.
hours.
Yeah, I'm half kidding, but otherwise I would actually try this tonight, but I
Yeah.
gotta wait another night. I have more time to do it. That's great. It looks like it now this, oh, because it has the onions in it. I saw the onions in there. That's what looks so good.
Yeah. So, I mean, depending on how you like, if you're not a fan of onions, you honestly, it's not like you really taste them that much. They do add extra flavor, but I know some people are kind of picky with food. You can either dice them up really small, put them in there, and you would never even really know they're there, or you can keep them in like the half moons, and it'll, it all cooks down.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Do you have any questions for Marissa about this or anything else, about anything she showed you, the order of things or preparation? Or...
Yeah, the pot, the vessel that she cooked in, was that, she called it, this is called like a slow cooking kind of
Yeah.
venison class.
I'll show you.
So was that a slow cooker kind of?
Yeah, so I'll show you what it was in.
Yeah, I was curious about the pot.
Yeah, I was in a Hamptons Beach
Oh,
actual slow cooker.
Yeah.
oh, that's a big one. See, I have a very,
Yeah.
I have a tiny little one. I think I have to get a bigger cooker.
It would, honestly, it's a little bigger than I need for what I just made. You could probably fit it. You have those, like the circular one.
Yes.
You could probably fit it in there. The liquid would probably be at the very top, but it should fit.
Hmm.
You have a Dutch oven?
I do too, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you could even just do that and then cook it slowly on the stove top.
On the stove, yeah, which is what I have always done. I did a lot of braising things, and which is similar,
Yeah.
but the same cooking temps.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So like aside from the slow cooking time, the actual prep, once it's done, it seems like
It's nothing.
10 minutes, maybe, like.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I chose to demonstrate this instead of the
Yeah.
enchiladas. The enchiladas are also very simple, but it's more time consuming because now you slow cooked that, so that's fine and all, but now you still have to put something in the oven. So
Right,
you're still technically cooking more, where this, you're just frying it and it's done.
I love it. Boom, done.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
I know, easy is good.
Yes.
Great. So I've never tried this before, so I just put it in, like the whole football thing and, and then carve it up. So I'm gonna try this.
Yeah.
It's great. You guys have any other questions, like Joe or Tim?
No, very good. Actually, if you want to share the enchilada, I'm actually interested in that recipe. If you just want to share the recipe.
Sure. Yeah, I can post it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sure.
Yeah, Julia, should I just share it with you?
Yeah, send it to me and I'll distribute it to everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
On the email
Awesome.
list, sure.
That'd Hey, be perfect. Marissa, have you done anything with the Instant Pot at all with this?
I
venison?
don't own an Instant Pot. No, I like to keep it very simple. I hate having like too many things in my kitchen, like
Yeah.
extra appliances. So like this, like I could buy a grill, but I'm like, I'll just flip it with the spatulas. So I honestly don't know how those cook, but I've heard good things about them. I'm sure you could use it for it.
Okay. Good. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Elizabeth, are you okay with everything? Or okay, great. All right, well, if nobody has any more questions for Marissa, I want to thank you for showing this. It's like I have a lot of kids and no time, so I'm into very simple, and I'm into venison, obviously, but something and a little bit more fun. This is like fun,
Yeah, I mean, quesadillas are great.
It's finger food. I don't have to, I can just touch it, I don't have to be like all like eloquent about it, but this is great. So thank you guys, and thank everybody for signing on. If for some reason you had friends or neighbors that missed it, just get their email, just have them write to me, and I'll send them the link and they can watch it again. And hope to see everyone in the community somewhere somewhere along the line, and maybe I'll see you at a deer and tick committee meeting at some point. Okay, all
Very
right,
good.
everybody have a great evening.
Thank
You
you.
too.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much.
Have a good
Okay,
night.
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Bye.
I don't know how to get out.
I just hit end. You can hit like sign off. There you go. Okay. There we go.